we're told and we minister to people trying to help them understand that you have a relationship with Christ, you have a relationship with God. But I think that people have, I guess, an unhealthy relationship with him, in that a relationship involves happiness, involves anger, it involves sadness.
Yes.
But I think when people are angry and sad, like, oh, I can't do that with him. I can't do that to him. We got to keep that over here and only be happy with him because I can't do it. And like, no.
Right.
No, there's a healthy way to express anger and sadness.
Right.
And that's
right.
what I think we have to learn to do. I mean, we had a friend in the family who, he was a sophomore in high school and had a brain tumor. And his mother called and asked if I would come over and chat with him because he was angry with God. And I went and sat down with him and I said, so what's up? And he just said, I'm so angry with God. I am so angry. I'm a sophomore in high school. I have a brain tumor. I should not be dealing with it or thinking about this. And I'm so angry with God. And I just kind of looked at him and I said, you should be. I said, absolutely you should be. I said, I'm angry at him for you. And I said, and I don't mean that, he kind of looked at me and I said, I don't mean that disrespectfully to him at all.
Yeah, to God, right?
I said, but here we are, we're talking about relationship with God. Every relationship has joy, happiness, but also sadness and anger.
Yep.
It has all that. And we have to learn how to deal with those human relationships in a healthy way, just like with God as well, that we don't understand all of this. And it's only going to be human for us to be angry about things because we don't get it.
Yeah.
And I need you, God, to just be patient with me and help me to understand this. But right now, I am feeling feelings of anger that you allowed me to have, that you created me with, so
exactly.
There's no shame in that. But
Right.
I think that's what I mean.
Right.
I think people have this unhealthy relationship. Like if I had a relationship, like with my wife and I, if I only showed her happiness and then we never dealt with any issues or anything, that's not going to be a healthy relationship.
No.
So I think a lot of people have unhealthy relationships with God because they don't share that side.
Exactly. And you and I both know God knows we're angry, but
Right,
he
he
wants
gets
us to tell him about it, right? He wants us to tell him how we feel, and whether it's an injustice or all the things I'm going to miss because I have cancer, right? And
Right.
And at the same time to say, help me, help
Right.
me with my anger, right? Help me to understand, help me to carry this burden with joy and resignation, right?
Right.
But we can be angry at him. We can yell, go into church or go
Right.
out into the car
Right.
or wherever and
Right.
yell.
I've said to him, I've prayed and said, look, you've given me all these feelings of happiness, sadness, anger. Here's anger, and I'm going to give it all back to you right now. Now, probably I'm going to have to answer that one day. But I did feel closer to him once I could because I look at the crucifix, look at the cross. It's the worst way a human being could die. And every time I see a crucifix now, I don't see an instrument of torture because he transformed that instrument of torture into an instrument of love. That's what I see.
Yeah.
Now, if I allow him to come in and take my anger and sadness and transform that, just like he did the crucifix, that's a game changer, I think. So I think it's understanding that.
And I think we can look at the lives of the saints and we can think, well, they make it look so easy, or, they didn't, who's the saint who had leprosy? I mean, I'm sure that he got mad at God too.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm sure that, Margaret of, where is it, Costello, right? She was put in her parents put her away. She was the one, right, who was blind, and she was a hunchback, and she was, right? And her parents disowned her at one point in her life, and she's on the street, and people, poor, and I'm like, she was probably angry at God at some point, and then she transformed that, but we often don't hear that part of their story.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think it's hard for us to really relate sometimes to well, how can I be a saint if I feel angry at God, or I feel hurt about this, or I feel like he's not answering my prayers, or he's and really it's in that relationship with him that we can grow to understand and to carry what he gives us with joy.
Yeah.